we're heading down to spray some corn that we got in our duck plot. The corn, I'd say, is probably a foot, 2 foot tall. Some of our trail cameras are telling us that the weeds are getting pretty bad. The corn is Roundup ready, so we're gonna go in there, we're gonna spray parts and pieces that we can with Roundup. And the reason parts and pieces, because we've also got Milo in there and around our kill hole, and then we've also got rice that's surrounding our ditches, surrounding the corn. So we'll show you more of that later here in a second. So we're gonna head down there. Also, whenever we're down there in the pond that we built, we don't have any fish in it yet. So I seined the creek there at the house previously. We're gonna try to throw some minnows in the pond to get them established. The reason we're putting minnows in there is this hole is essentially for ducks. So later in season, when everything freezes out, as long as we can get the pond to stay open, we're going to be able to waterfowl hunt for diver ducks, is the goal. So the minnows, those are going to be in there so the diver ducks attracts, because obviously the diver ducks feed on fish. So they feed on a lot of minnows, a lot of shad. So that's our goal, to have those fish in the lake to have what they want, as long as we can keep the lake open whenever everything gets froze. So that's the plan. We're going to turn them loose today. Also, I got some goldfish. They don't really do a whole lot. I just thought it'd be really cool to have them in there. Just whenever you're out and about, you see some big orange fish, blackfish, whatnot, whatever color they are. So we're going to turn those loose also. Since we're down there, we're going to also, on the deer side, we also deer hunt this property too. So brought the tractor down. We're going to make a few trails. We're actually going to make a whole lot of trails, and we're going to have pinch points. We're going to have an X's, if you will. That way, whenever the deer, they're going to use the easiest path possible. So all of these pinch points that I have where the X's interline, I'm going to have trail cameras set there, and that would be where your stand placement would need to be. So we're going to make a series of trails throughout the property. We're going to do that. Also set up a few trail cameras. So we got a lot of stuff to do and a little time to get there. So hopefully next half hour or so, we're going to be out there getting things done. So we'll see. This is good luck. We're starting out really good. So let's get her changed and move on down the road. So here's the layout of everything we're going to be working with in the next couple days. So as you can see earlier, when we turned a fish loose, we turn them loose right here. So the pond runs from right there to just on the right side of that tree. So that pond dam acts as a levee right there. We've got an island that runs where am I at? That runs from right here to right here. That way, whenever we waterfowl hunt this, we're not going to get wet. We can sit on the island and have a full body spread and have our water spread out here. Our whole goal is to be able to flood this. So in order to do that, we had to come up with levees surrounding our field. So what we ended up doing, we took a dozer and we pushed levees up. These levees we have graded out where this is 2 foot higher than the field. So we can, whenever we get our drain in, we can put our blocks in and essentially flood our field. But as for now, we don't want to flood it because all of our crops is still growing. So we've got winter wheat right now and Kentucky 31 on these banks. The winter wheat was just from this past winter, from when we did all the dirt work, just to hold the seed until the Kentucky 31 sprouted. So we got all that going, and then in these ditches, we wanted to try to maximize our spaces. This is a small plot of ground. So we ended up planting rice in these ditches. So if you can see all these mats right here, that's all rice that is coming up. You can see back in this corner, that rice is a lot more heavy. So that was just to maximize our space. And then these ditches are on 3 sides because we had to push up for the berms to be able to flood the field. And then the pond dam, that worked as our 4th side. So we've got corn planted all in here. It's hard to see, but you can see the rows in here. That's the reason that I need to come in here and spray, is because the weeds are overpowering the corn. It's been very wet this year, and we probably don't know what we're doing whenever we're doing all this. So that's the plan. Whenever we come over here, we did something a little different. Corn is not in this whole field. If I can get over here, we can see it. And of course, we had a couple wet spots where I buried the tractor right there. But anywho, the island's right here. So on this side of the island, we've got 12 rows of corn surrounding the plot. But in this area on either side, as the island's there, on that side and this side, we planted milo because we need something low enough where we can see ducks and put up a spread. Milo will get tall, but we'll have to harvest that, and it's going to be a lot easier to get that down than it is corn, because you're not allowed to bait for waterfowl. And if we come in here and plant corn everywhere, then we'd have to hand shuck all the corn because we don't have the equipment to harvest it. And if we came in here and knocked it down or used a bush hog, that's considered baiting for waterfowl. So we planted milo on this side and milo on that side of the island, thinking that's where we're going to be hunting at the most. And then coming up here on the island itself, we've got corn here at the toe of the slope of the island. We still got corn that we will have flooded corn. The water level will be right in here somewhere, meaning all this will be dry. So when we came in here, we still wanted enough cover and everything for the Canada geese. So we came in here whenever we did this, we took our tillers. You can see we tilled that spot, we missed that spot, we tilled that spot. We just raised and lowered our tractor, the tiller, to make small patches. So there's Kentucky 31 and there's milo everywhere else in here. That way we can set up our ground blind, and you still have the Kentucky 31 for the Canadas to eat. Then on the back slope of this pond dam and the toe of the island where the two meets, that's where the water can still drain, so water don't get puddled up on either side, which it is, but throughout the next several years we'll have to come in here and fix these. But we've got 12 rows of corn. You can see these. We've got 12 rows of corn that comes around all the way, but then our corn starts coming this way right at the toe of the slope on that side of the island. So we've got a lot to do by spraying all this, but we've got to watch out because all this milo, whenever we bought it, we screwed up. We didn't buy Roundup Ready milo. So, and neither is the rice. So mainly we're gonna have to focus on spraying the corn on this route, and we're gonna have to stay like 6-7 foot away from the ditch. That way no overspray gets in the water and kills our rice. So that's our plan. So we're gonna get at it, see if we can get this done before dark, and then we've got several more things to do yet in the next day. We got some weed killer, and I went ahead and ripped the label off to see what we needed. So that's the weed killer that we're gonna end up using to spray the corn. So mixing, come to here. We've got a 4-gallon sprayer. For 1 gallon, we need to spray about 3%. So 2% is 2 2/3 ounces, and 5% is at 6.5 ounces. So we need 3 right in the middle. So we're gonna say 4 ounces is 3% roughly. And we've got a 4-gallon sprayer. So 4 times 4, 16. So we need roughly 16 ounces. I don't have a measuring cup, so we're 16.9. So we're just gonna end up cutting the lid off this thing and using this as our measuring cup. So there's that. We've already pre-filled our sprayer up. Probably already gets actual measuring cup, but this will work. So perfect. So we'll throw the lid on this. Go ahead and open the lid on this, hopefully without spilling anything. Okay. Perfect. Go ahead and put a little water in here. Let's mix it around, get all our chemical out. Put that in there. So we're gonna put our lid on, and I believe, oh boy, this sprayer is battery powered. We'll figure out how to work this thing. So all I gotta do is turn it on. Oh boy. Turn it on, throw it on our back, and we can start spraying, hopefully. I got a mess going on here. So we made it back here to our mineral site. This is already a pre-established mineral site. They've already eaten up this stump quite a bit. You can see there's holes in there. Came up too far, but you can see it's real muddy where they've been chopping in here. So all we're doing with this stump is we're gonna come in here, we're gonna put more mineral in here to replenish it. We'll just got everything loaded up and strapped down. So the only thing we got to do now is we're going to take our little air compressor and we're going to go around. We're going to check all 4 tires. So hopefully on the way home, we don't have another blowout. This tire takes 44 pounds. We're at 42. Awesome. Well, we're going to continue to check all 4 and then we're going to get heading home.